Shooters Connection offers products for competition shooters by competition shooters. With over 80 years of combined competition shooting experience, Shooters Connection is staffed by master and grandmaster shooters who live the shooting sports every day. We offer same-day shipping. Shooters Connection also sponsors over 100 of your matches every single year. So when it comes to finding everything you need to compete as a beginner or a seasoned grandmaster, Shooters Connection is the only name you need to know. Online at shootersconnectionstore.com.
It's all me. We are back with the Hit Factor, and we have a special guest tonight, one that many of you are familiar with, Mr. Matt Hopkins, formerly of CZ fame. Although, is that a CZ shirt that I am seeing?
I wear it all the time. Yeah. I was trying to move the screen up a little bit, but
but I called him.
Doesn't
out.
matter now. Yeah, it's
fine. Now working with FN.
Yep.
Do you prefer FN or Fabrique Nationale?
It's FN.
Oh, it is?
Just
Like they don't
FN,
even
yeah.
they don't even use the Fabrique Nationale anymore?
No, well, I think it's officially called FN America. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they don't use the full word, no.
See, like if I was at if you were like dating a new girl or something and you were at like her like parents' house meeting the parents and they're like, "Who do you work for?" I would totally be like, I wouldn't say FN USA. I'd be like Fabrique Nationale. It's
No one would know what it is though, either way.
it's European.
Honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So FN USA, we don't see a lot of those in our sport with people
Correct.
competing in them. But they do have guns that fit fairly well into production and carry optics, right?
Yeah, they do. They're not set up as like the other manufacturers do that kind of make guns specially for it.
Yeah. So I mean, so their approach is really like, hey, we have these guns that we think the mass market will like, and if you want to use them to compete, you can, but we're not going to make a gun specifically for competition. At least right now, they're not doing that.
Correct.
Okay. Cool. I always thought FN made good products. So I'm sure their stuff is still good. I haven't been around them too much. They still have the were they the ones that were making the Scar?
Yep, they make the Scar, the PS90. They got all kinds of AR-15s. They have the 240, the 249, the Mark 46, Mark 48 for the military, M4, M16 contract. So a lot of it's military.
Okay, so that you guys are doing a lot of military stuff then.
Yeah, and that's all I'm working on right now. I'm purely a military person. Like that's all I'm purchasing for.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So did CZ have any military contracts?
No, none in the U.S. No.
Okay. So this is, I mean, you're kind of in a new territory for you a little bit.
Like the contract wise, it's a little new and everything, but what I'm doing is what I've been doing for a long time. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the timing of it and stuff, and that's pretty much the only new thing that I have.
Okay. And now you're now living in where?
Columbia, South Carolina.
Columbia,
Nice.
South Carolina. Okay. So like I know that Kansas City like thinks that they have like good barbecue. Like they're at least like you hear Kansas City and you think, okay, they're gonna have some decent barbecue around there. You don't hear Columbia, South Carolina and think, oh, they're like the home of barbecue here. So like, are you like missing like what do you miss from Kansas City other than your homeboy Jared, who couldn't make it? I think he was out scaring kids tonight. He didn't have to wear a costume or nothing. He's just out scaring kids for Halloween.
Just walking around.
Yeah, just walking around growling at kids is what I think Jared's doing. But so what other than missing Jared, like what is it like? What do you miss from Kansas City being in Columbia?
Well, it's my hometown. It's where I grew up in, went to school and everything. So that's the biggest thing I miss, right? Everything that is associated with that. They're still shooting out here. people from work I know several people from the area that knew me from other podcasts and stuff. So there's several people that knew me out here. I didn't really know them, and just still kind of getting used to the people around and everything like that. So
Yeah. So I mean, Kansas City has a pretty big shooting scene. Is Columbus, right? Not Columbia. I said
Columbia
Columbia.
with an
It
A.
is Columbia.
Hmm.
Okay. Columbia. Does it have like, is it a similar shooting scene there or no?
It's pretty similar. Yeah, I've only done USPSA stuff since I've been here,
Yeah.
and I haven't branched out to anything else. It's just not what I'm concentrating on right now. So they have steel challenge matches, and I think 2-gun and 3-gun and stuff like that.
Oh,
They
cool.
actually have quite PSA is right here also in Columbia. They
Mhm.
have a huge AK base, and they have like AK specific matches that fill up like every weekend or like at least once a month, I think. So
Oh, wow. That could
yeah,
be fun.
I don't own an AK, so I don't know,
I
but I'm
mean,
sure it's
I
fun.
don't either, but like that would, it seems like taking like a stamped metal gun and like trying to make it like function and like do well could be. I mean, that sounds like it's perfect for Jeff Cawthon. Like
Mhm.
like if we can make something, if you're gonna like stick weld on a gun, like I mean, he did
Right,
it on. If
yeah.
you do it to a 1911, then an AK just like it's like made for that.
Yeah, that's some Mad Max shit right there.
Yeah. All right, so
For
we
sure.
really have Hopkins. One, we haven't had Hopkins on in a while, but we really wanted to have Hopkins on because he is going to the World Shoot, and I mean, you guys are only like, is it less than 3 weeks from Hammer Down?
It's probably so. Hammer Down is 3 weeks from Sunday,
Okay,
so probably a
so
couple days after this will air.
Hmm.
yeah,
It'll be exactly 3 weeks. I'm flying out 3 weeks from Thursday.
okay, so yeah,
I'm gonna travel on the worst day to travel ever.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite an experience.
That was, when I was looking at going to this match 2 years ago when it was originally, it was like, do I want to fly on Thanksgiving? Do I
It's
actually
the only
want to
thing
do
I
that?
can make work with my limited time off I have since I kind of moved in the middle of the year.
Yeah,
So I didn't have a full year of time off. So I had to use some for Area 3 because I had said I was going to do that and still kept it and still match direct and did all the setup on that. Took time off for Kansas State. Volunteered to still do that, so I had to take time off for
hmm
that, even though I moved out here just to finish that off. So I have only 5 days left, and I'm taking exactly 5 days off. So
and you got to
it's
get to Thailand and shoot a 6-day match, and get back from Thailand with those 5 days.
yeah. Luckily, Thanksgiving and Black Friday we had off, so I got 2 free days out of it.
Right.
Nice.
So
Damn, you
I'm
guys are.
I'm I got
Yeah.
9 days to leave here, go to Thailand, shoot a match, then make it back home.
Let's hope you
Oh my
don't get
god.
quarantined over in a
Right.
third world
Yeah.
country over
Dude,
there.
that's what I don't understand. Everybody was so worried about the vaccine and everything. Literally, we could pay people off here in the US with like $100 cash and they'll give us a negative COVID test. You think the third world country of Thailand, you wouldn't be able to pay people off and get a negative test?
I mean, you bring up a good point.
I
I-
was never once worried about that.
no,
Never once. The US
that
dollar is still so good over there. You could
that's true.
you go to some hole in the wall doctor that you can go buy whatever prescription drugs you want. He's gonna give you a negative COVID test for whatever amount of cash you're willing to get out of the country. It was never once a concern with me, and I can't believe no one else thought of this.
I don't. What language do they speak there?
It's called Google Translate. They speak whatever language.
Language is universal now.
I
Exactly.
guess.
Yeah.
I guess. That that I mean, the getting back into the U.S. was a slight concern for me, but it was more the I at the time, this was like 6 months ago. It was a deal where you went over there and like there were questions of whether you would get quarantined for like 2 weeks in country.
Yeah, that was a
before you got
concern
to leave.
earlier this year. I think it was still worth the risk of saying to go and everything. And I heard people talking, like Angus had brought it up a bunch, where they had already started to relax their restrictions kind of progressively. And I think by this summer they took all the restrictions off, and that was the plan they put in place. So they were like, okay, we're going to phase this out in different phases. So they're like, okay, we're at this phase now, and then by the summertime, or I think September, it fully lifted on everything.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
did only purchase, like, I purchased a plane ticket after some certain people guaranteed I would still be able to compete.
There you go. That's
And then I purchased hotel after all the restrictions were up, and so I did it in steps. So if I was exposed or couldn't go, it would only be a limited amount of money I lost.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, so before we get too far into the world shoot, like we haven't had you on, so Area 3
Yeah,
was like it was a good match. It went off well. As far as I remember, stages were good. It wasn't we. I was disappointed in that there were no cars. Like I wanted to shoot through a car.
you wanted to
I didn't
shoot
have
through a
that.
car.
I wanted to shoot through a car again. I didn't have that
Well, I always
opportunity.
said I wasn't going to put any of that stuff in the match.
Yeah, I know.
I never said once that I was going to do that. I actually said the opposite, that I'm not going to do any of that stuff. So if people still expected to like shoot through cars or run 3 miles to shoot one target or something, like that was never going to happen. I was never going to do that.
Yeah, no, I didn't expect to have like the huge running. I was just hopeful there was going to be a car because I always liked shooting through cars.
They still
And
have
the
them all
air,
there. I saw where they're all at. They have a whole,
they're still parked out there.
yeah, it's like the range stuff. They have like big fenced in areas where they just put all the props. They had props
Oh,
from every year I've shot that match there. They're still there.
so
They
you
were they were
literally,
in differing levels of like able to be used, but they're there.
Yeah. Mhm.
so like you could literally go in and have a Sherwin's Revenge match and just bring out like props from like every year for the past 10 years.
You can bring out every single prop. It's still there. I think
Oh
they
my
still have the
god!
helicopter and everything.
Whoa, wow, that's crazy.
If someone wanted to, like, I would not shoot that match, but
Yeah, no, I would not. I would not want to. I would not want to shoot that as an area match, or shoot that match. Period.
Yeah,
So,
maybe not
uh,
as an area match, but I would shoot the match. Like if someone just did the match, not as an
you
area
drive from
match.
Oklahoma up there.
Jeff would.
It's not that far. It's like what 7 or 9 hours, whatever, something like that.
You go if Jeremy went, or you go by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that far if you're not driving.
I mean, if Jeremy was driving, I would go for sure.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
So okay. So, like, I mean, obviously, you're not Area 3 director anymore, so you don't have to like put that on again. Like, how was your experience as match director? Like, how do you feel like the match went? Like, what things did you like, and like, if you could do it again, like, what would you try to do differently?
Well, I wrote down a bunch of stuff. I have all the results from the survey that I sent out afterward. I passed those on to the RM, the current Area 3 director. I passed it on to the candidates that are up for Area 3 election also, so they have that.
Mm-hmm.
I passed all the financial info on to them also. So all that went out to everybody. The big things I would do, I would get a couple more stage designers to bring in, because a couple of the stages, the two like L-shaped stages that were around 20-ish rounds, 18 to 22 rounds or
Mm-hmm.
something, those were pretty duplicated. Like they look basically the exact same stage.
Yeah.
I would have tried to look at that and made sure and delete all the same stages that were there. I would get someone to do like specific tasks. Like if someone, I would want to request someone in charge of all the staff. They're in charge
Okay.
of coordinating the staff, making sure they're there, getting all the info, like getting them registered, getting the shirt sizes, all that stuff, and making sure we had enough. We were short on staff. We only had basically 2 per stage. The double bays were doubled up, so there was 4 there. Uh, but we were short on staff. We just didn't have the staff that we needed to have there.
Yeah.
That's a big one. I'd have someone specifically do prize table. Like I would help email people and stuff like that, but I would not want to organize or have anything to do with it once it's on the ground. You literally cannot make anybody, like, someone's going to be mad no matter what.
Yeah.
I'd probably go to real awards, like real plaques. I got a lot of feedback on that. Not everybody liked the little water jugs or anything like that. So those are probably
Oh,
the
really?
biggest things I would take away from it.
Okay. I mean, that was
Yeah.
my one critique. Like, all the stages by themselves there weren't any bad stages by themselves, but they were presented like a very similar shooting challenge across several different stages. So there could have been
Yep.
a little bit. I thought there could have been a little more variety from that standpoint. But again, for first time running a match, that was your first time as MD, right?
That's my first time as MD. Anything over a level 1, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Hmm.
fantastic job. It does, as far as my personal opinion, like, it does somewhat prove that the guys who compete at higher levels in this sport, like, they understand the sport better than guys. Oftentimes, they understand the sport better than guys who don't, and they're very valuable as far as putting a match on.
Well, I've seen a lot of matches and what's good and what's bad and
Mhm.
what's to duplicate. It's if you sit down and honestly look at it, there's only a certain number of things that have to be done before the match in certain time frames. Like, you got to get your RM figured out, you got to get your setup crew figured out, you got to start working on the prizes like 8 months, 12 months before the match. You got to get the stages kind of vetted 6 to 9 months before the match and get those submitted for approval. You have to start arranging getting staff there, and then, like, at some point that stuff's done, and then you kind of have a lull period, and then you have like 3 months and into the match you have a whole nother set of things to do. And then
Yeah.
once you get on the ground, there's other stuff that you couldn't do anytime before you're actually physically there.
So you probably don't have this, but how many hours did you think you had into
Oh,
MDing that match?
overall, like, if I was going to just throw a number out,
Yeah.
let's say from when I learned I was Area 3 director last year, I'd say for that whole year, it was basically a year from when I learned the Monday after Area 3 of 2021 that I
Okay.
was going to be area director. So that's when I started planning
Yeah.
and talking to Hornady and the range and trying to figure out RM and stuff like that. So basically, I'd say I probably averaged 10 hours a week for a year. Some weeks there was none, and some there was 20 or 30, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Going in like the last month, like, let's say 4 weeks out, I think I probably spent 40 hours, 40, and then probably like 20. And then I was like, a week before the match and I left, I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing nothing else. I'm going to do it when I get there. And I just
Yeah.
stopped doing anything because
Yeah.
there's, what can you do at that point?
Right. Yeah.
You just got to deal with it on the ground. And that's what I did. So that last month, I probably spent 100 hours on the match, the 4 weeks before the match.
Yeah. I mean, so, like,
Hmm.
I do think that is, like, I can be very critical of MDs and guys putting on matches and that sort of stuff, and I think there should be room to be able to be critical for that. I don't think that's always a bad
100%,
thing.
I agree.
But we also do, like, to put on a quality match, like you guys just heard. Like, we're not talking just a 40 hour, a couple of weeks. You're talking 500-600 hours worth of prep, going into just putting it on. And other than I assume Matt probably didn't get the invitation for all of the bougie board parties that were going on, so he didn't quite get that same payout that maybe some of our other board members are
I
getting.
did have, I mean, we did have a meal, a really nice meal at the in-person meeting that was way more than what I would spend on to feed myself.
Well, at least you got that perk, you know. Uh,
Yeah,
that's at
one
least
meal
good.
for a couple
But
hundred hours worth of work.
yeah, otherwise not no payment. And so like that is something to at least take into consideration. So thank you for that. And doing that even after you weren't Area 3 director, right? You could have just kind of,
Well, I
oh,
wanted to do
I'm
it.
gone now.
I said I was going to do it. I wanted to finish it out.
Yeah.
It's pretty like I got through it. I know how to do it. I could do it again if I wanted to or needed to. If a match ever comes up, I'm helping with a couple of matches next year.
Yeah.
I helped with the stages and the sponsorship stuff for South Carolina section match, and and basically in charge or taking over the stage, like designing and looking at the overall aspect of Area 6 and the stage setup. So
Cool.
I know the entry fee has got some talk about it, but I have nothing to do with that. I'm going to make sure there's 12 really great stages on the ground.
Awesome. I mean, yeah, I think you'll probably get hit up for that after the way Area 3 went. I think you'll get hit up a lot for helping with matches. So, which is good. We need people with who think like Matt, putting on good matches. Okay, so World Shoot.
Yep.
I mean, for me, like the biggest burning question, like we know Nils is shooting standard, uh, and then
Yep.
do you know what Eric is officially signed up for at this point?
I do. Yeah. So Eric is officially signed up for production division shooting for the France team.
Oh, he's even on the team. He's even on their team.
Yep. No, he's not actually. I just saw that now. He's not on the team, but he's on the super squad, which is interesting.
Yeah, they're not gonna. I don't think they're not gonna put him on that super squad. Uh, which I mean, that is interesting because, uh, like normal years for the World Shoot, you have the last World Shoot, the top 3 teams,
Correct.
those
Yep.
countries make up the super squad, and then the host country also gets to put a team onto the
Yep.
super squad.
That's correct. So in production, that's the Czech Republic, Italy, Sweden, and the U.S. So they didn't even put the Thailand team on there.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I wonder if Thailand. I mean, surely they have a team.
you would think so.
That's very fascinating. So then Eric is just a 13th member on that squad.
He's the 16th member. Czech only has 3 people on it,
Oh, okay,
so there's still 16 on that squad.
okay. And who's shooting production for the Americans?
So we have Mason Lane, Sal Luna, Matt Nash, and Casey Reid.
Okay, that's going to be a really, really solid team.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
U.S. did not win production last time, correct? Am I remembering right?
that's correct. Russia did, which is interesting. They don't have anybody shooting
Are they
that I've
shooting?
seen.
Is Russia? Do they have anybody shooting the World Shoot at all? Like, is Maria shooting?
No, not that I've seen. No.
I mean, I'm kind of wondering if that's a little bit of. I don't know if I'd want to be a Russian flying around the world with a gun at this
Well, I
point.
think they're sanctioned. I think IPSC kind of said they can't shoot anything outside their country, and they
Oh,
can't
okay.
shoot any level 4 or 5. I think outside the country representing Russia because the whole Ukraine thing.
I think you're right. I remember that now that you say that. I think you're right. Um, so
That's interesting.
So
it
this is
is.
going to have maybe a little asterisk next to stuff.
I mean, okay, so like that's like there's already a bit of an asterisk, right, on this World Shoot,
For sure,
uh,
yeah.
because like I mean, like the U.S. production team is filled out and is really solid. But there are a lot of people that did not attend this match, just because all the COVID stuff, all of the other stuff, going to Thailand.
Well, the
That
whole thing was, I think the biggest factor was nobody knew when the match was going to happen, or
Mhm.
like we talked about earlier, no one knew what restrictions were going to be in place. Like, can you afford to be there for 2 weeks before the match? That's going to affect people's attendance. Uh, just from the last few world shoots I've been to, or been in USPSA since, like like France and Greece were sold out, really, right?
Mhm.
You couldn't get enough US competitors to them. The US one, that one doesn't count because it was here.
Right.
But I think Indonesia was in there also, right?
Mhm. It's been a while.
That one didn't sell out. I guess there. I've heard there was plenty of slots. Anybody in US that wanted to go could have eventually gone.
Hmm.
Now Thailand comes up, and there's a bunch of individual competitors or competitors that didn't actually qualify for the team or shoot like at least 3 matches that are still going. So it kind of just depends on where the location is. Obviously, just in those 4 matches, Europe is more preferred than Asia right now for US competitors to go to.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the one in France, and I was never really super worried that like I would end up getting routed to a different airport or something, and then I'm going to end up in jail with like for the rest of my life because I have guns. And like there are some real concerns flying to that part of the country. Like you have to choose your flights very, very carefully, and make sure that you don't get routed through China or other countries around there.
There's
Because
definitely places you got to check off of the stopover when you're doing your search.
yeah.
Like no matter where I'm going, like Amsterdam is always taken off just because you got to get an extra permit to go in there.
Hmm.
So that one's always gone. Uh, Basically, it told us to go through South Korea. That's the easiest.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, where most people are going through. So I didn't even really look at anything. I just kind of like checked that one off and said, I want to go through there and just pick that one for my flight.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So I mean, that was to me that was one another kind of tick in the tick in the I don't need to go. Like Hopkins said, people may not be familiar with this. Up until only a couple months ago, like there was a law in Thailand that if you come as a foreigner, that you need to spend 2 weeks in quarantine. And I assume that was in your hotel or something. I don't know exactly where that was, but you had to spend 2 weeks in quarantine before you could be out in public. And
Correct.
so it
Yeah.
was like, okay, if I want to shoot the world shoot, I got to be there 2 weeks ahead of time, before I can even shoot it. And then there's all sorts of other stuff, like if you got tested and you threw positive or something like that, would you get uh,
Yeah. They took that 2 week quarantine out. Then they're like, you got to test before you go to get on the plane. And then you got to test when you're in country. And if you pop positive, you have to stay there. And you have to get traveler's insurance to cover up to $10,000 worth of US dollars in medical bills. So all that's been taken away. I think I still have to do a COVID test before I go. I need to probably figure that out though.
yeah. Yeah, so there were a lot of things that to it looks like now, like it's not going to be too bad, getting over there. It looks like it should go off decently. But that's a fairly recent.
Yeah, I think it was in September. So what, 2 months ago?
Yeah, yeah, that has kind of come through. Um, so so it's not going to be super well attended. Although I mean, you are going to have the Nils of the world are going to be there. Eric's going to be there, not competing against Nils. But the fact that Eric's not on the production team makes me think that maybe somebody can link Eric to this podcast and he'll listen to it and decide to switch to standard, because I still contend that Eric, you're a sissy if you don't compete against Nils right now. because he's the best shooter in the world right now.
Hey, I got a question on that. On divisions and what people are shooting. If you're shooting like on a country team, can at this point can you change divisions?
I I don't know. Like, what are they going to say if you show up and you have a broken gun or something?
Yeah.
Now we've had to get permits and stuff, and with serialized and that for the guns that we're bringing in. So it would be very challenging at this point to switch. So I don't know if it's possible, but maybe. And
Yeah.
Eric, being Eric, he could probably do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
The teams are up to the country that's sending them to decide who is on the team.
Yep.
And you can send 4 shooters, but they only take your top 3 scores.
Yeah.
So a country can compete with only 3 members on a team. Like so in France, Robbie got really sick and could not finish the match. Yet we still won the classic division with
Yeah.
just 3 shooters. So I don't know why a person couldn't if they decided, hey, I don't want to actually shoot production, or I don't want to shoot classic because nobody's shooting classic. So I'm going to go shoot production because that's what Eric's shooting. So I'm just going to do that, and that his country could still fill out a team to compete.
They
And that
could,
would
yeah,
be
they could
that would be
technically,
up
yeah.
to that. That'd be up to that country if they were okay with it, I would think.
Yeah.
So okay, so you are shooting
Production optics light.
optics light. Okay, does the U.S. have a full team for that?
We do for that, yeah.
Okay, so who's on the team for that?
So that is myself, Luke Cow. We have Rory Sangori, and then Max Michelle.
Oh, okay. I thought Max was competing in the heavy, but okay.
That's one of the changes that we've had so far
Oh, okay.
since the qualifiers and everything. Originally, he was on the heavy team,
Uh huh.
and then when the actual teams came out and were published by USPSA, and now the IPSC World Shoot match, that's changed. So
Okay.
I don't know what gun he's shooting, or if he's trying to shoot something new to get a title behind it or anything. Not sure.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume that just a plain 320 without the tungsten grip would probably fit that light category. Be my guess, but I don't know.
Yeah, it should.
So yeah, Luke is obviously like he's a great shooter. Rory's my boy. He's from San Antonio. Shot a few matches with him, and I know that he's like he's good. He's Filipino. He has a wife that I can't remember if she has moved. His wife was still in the Philippines, and he was a nurse here, and and they have a kid, and I don't know if she has made the move to the U.S. or not, but so he's kind of going back home a little bit for him, and he's a good shooter. His movement is really good, and
Yeah.
it's been a while since I've shot with him, but I know that he's been sending me a few questions and stuff, and I know he's wanting to be trained up as much as possible.
He is, yeah. He's I think it took some off time during COVID and all that, but he seems to be back shooting and everything. There is Brazil has a team, and the Philippines will have a team there. So
Okay,
that'll actually award a team award for that.
awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, Max.
I've heard that this is the only year for this division they're going to get rid of it and make one production optics. I can't say that that's not a bad idea, just based on participation. IPSC
Right.
actually will smoke a division if it doesn't make sense, unlike USPSA.
Yeah.
So
No.
What?
That's
Oh, I guess they smoked. What was that one? Modified that they used to
modified,
have.
yeah, yep,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, that makes sense. Like having 2 of basically the same division with nothing but a weight discrepancy doesn't make sense to me. So
it doesn't. I think there's. I can't find it. I don't have it pulled up, but they had a list of how many competitors won it. It was around 3 something in production and open, and I think standard has a few less, and then Production Optics Light has around 200, Production Optics has 200, and Light has maybe 50 or 60, I think.
Oh wow.
So Classic and Revolver are really low attended this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
U.S. isn't even sending a Classic or a Revolver team.
No, we all pulled out, and yeah, even there were some guys that like I think the people who made the team pulled out, and then I think even guys maybe that they I don't know if they tried to make another team or if they just said once we all pulled out that they were just we're not going to field a team, which is they can save money. I assume they're not giving you extra money for the Classic team, not
Come
not
on.
being there.
Come on.
That's just thought I'd throw it out there. Yeah, and
They're going to make sure I turn in receipts to get that $500 after the match also.
you have to turn in receipts.
Yeah, dude.
You're only getting $500
Yeah.
for being on the team.
We got $500 after the match for reimbursement. We're getting a pair of Hunter's HD Gold glasses that Brian is giving us. And then we get 2 Techwear shirts.
Holy crap! So, I actually think that the U.S. teams when the match was in Florida got more money than that, or at least that much. Because I wasn't on the Classic team for that match, but I'm pretty sure they got like 500 or 1,000. And then for France, every team member, on the men's side, this wasn't true for all of there was only I think one ladies squad that was officially sponsored, but we got $2,000, and that was contingent on you finishing the match.
What?
Yeah, I think if you didn't finish the match, I don't think you got money. Like I don't know that Rob got paid. I could be I could be
That's
wrong
so
on
crazy.
that. I could be wrong on that. Like, but I think I feel like I remember it being contingent. Like we didn't get the money until after the match was over, and you had to like complete the match. So but yeah, we got $2,000. So that wow. But originally it was more than 500 going to Thailand.
No, it was 500. Oh, well, we got the entry fee paid. So that's another 500.
Yeah, I thought it was like 1,500.
No, it was 500 the whole time.
Oh, they don't tell you that whenever you're trying to qualify for a team.
No.
That's information that comes out after you make the team and you.
And after you say you're going to be on the team also.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't fault them though. Like there's 50 or 60 people that are going to this match. They're paying for, I think it was 28, but now it's probably down since we don't have Classic and Revolver.
Yeah.
So they're paying for 20 people now to go that made the teams.
Yeah.
So that's $10,000.
Yeah. Be something like that. So yeah,
I can't find the breakdown of all the division or how many are in the divisions, but it's on the like the World Shoot Facebook page. It was posted at some point. It's like a screen cap. None of this is on the website. They haven't updated the website for weeks, and it doesn't look like they're going to. So
yeah, IPSC is like they have, I guess, their own scoring program, and like they basically refuse to use practice score.
They do, yeah.
And that's like they're behind the times on that. So anybody who's we have some listeners from, oh gosh, I'm gonna guess the country wrong, and it's not Sweden. I don't think they were from Sweden.
Thought it was Sweden.
Maybe are they Swedish? Maybe. Can we just
Jeff
call
knows.
them? Yeah, Jeff. Where are they from?
I think we have listeners in lots of the Scandinavian countries.
Yeah, I feel like Viking has like sent out a call to his people, and and got people. I know Kaiser IPSC is his handle, but I can't remember I know I've called him the wrong one, and he's corrected me before. But
Oh, wasn't it? It was crap. Why did
see,
I even open my mouth?
yes. So you can be wrong with me. I need company in being wrong.
Wasn't it Slovenia or something? Wasn't that what it was?
I don't think that's right, but
Okay, never forget it.
but I'm not even making a guess at this point. So but it sounds like production optics has not been as popular in IPSC as carry optics is over here.
Well, I think the big thing about that is they didn't give the added capacity. It has the same 15 round limit that
Yeah.
production has.
You really think capacity is that big of a
I do, yeah. I really do.
because I mean like capacity like if you're shooting standard, you're only getting 17 rounds over there. So
Correct.
the only division where you really and 15, 17, I mean there is a difference, but it's not huge. And so then really the only division where you have an advantage is open or where you have that large capacity. Um, so that's
Yeah. So well, minor I think is gonna be interesting this year. Like Gaston shot Pan American and won shooting minor.
true.
Nils just won limited shooting minor, so
Hmm.
I highly doubt that he shoots minor at the world shoot though.
I I am fairly certain. I mean, you never know what Nils is going to do, but I'm pretty positive he's shooting a 2011 for that match.
Well, I did talk to him before, and he said when he signed up for Canik, he knew he was going to be at the next world shoot in standard defending his title, so he got them to write that in that
Yeah,
he could use that gun, a 2011, for that match.
right.
Mm.
Yeah, he was already on
So,
the U.S. team, and he's
yep,
not defending his
exactly.
title because Eric won the last one in
Did
France.
he?
Yeah, Eric shot standard. Vogel was second, and Nils was third
Okay.
in France. Um,
Mm.
but Nils won the one in US. But since Eric's not there and Vogel's not there, we can call Nils the defending. That's fine. He was the next closest at that point. I'm fine with that. Okay,
Nice.
so the standard US team has
Yeah,
they have a team.
they do have a team, yes.
Okay, so it's Nils.
Nils, we have Blake Miguez,
Okay,
Tim Yackley, and
okay.
Gorka
Okay.
Abanez.
Okay.
I would guess that everybody but Tim originally qualified for that team.
I'm not sure about Gorka and how the individual matches, but I know Nils and Blake did for sure.
Yeah,
But I'm sure Gorka was right up there. I just would have to go look at all the matches and
right.
see. It makes sense that he was.
Yeah, I think Shane was. I think Shane had made the team. Um,
Oh, that's
which
interesting because I looked his name up because I thought he was on the team and he's not shooting it.
well, he just got married, so I don't know if maybe he
Well, I
didn't.
hope he told her that he's a USPSA shooter before they got married. So,
Well, yeah, but like get married and then run off to Thailand, like a
well,
couple weeks after you're married, like maybe that might not go so well.
Jesse and Casey are doing that.
Well, I mean, that's I guess a little bit different. They're both competing, I assume.
Not true,
Uh,
yeah.
so
Just think
Nils,
about that. You could get married and then USPSA would cover like $500 of your honeymoon.
right? Yeah. Well, big waffling $500. I will say, I mean, Blake won the world shoot in standard the match before Nils won, and Blake had a heck of a nationals.
He did, yeah. He
Here
seems to come
recently.
out of nowhere and shoot like these big matches and perform like he's been shooting the whole time.
Yes,
Yeah.
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 It's pretty amazing.
I mean, because the dude's busy and he's not like he's not like. I mean, I guess he trained some to ramp up for. I assume he's going to train to ramp up for the world shoot a little bit, but not like he used to, because he used to shoot a lot. And yeah, that dude's busy, uh, and still just comes out and crushes it. Really impressive. He's really fun to shoot with. The few times I've shot with him, I mean, he's a politician, and so he can play that game, but he does seem genuinely very nice. And he's got that coon ass Cajun accent. That
Yeah,
you
he
know,
does.
that's it sounds like my wife's family. So it's I like it, but he's a good dude from what I can tell.
So I don't see any of the Glock people on the list. Ashley's not on there.
I wonder if Glock decided we're not sending our people over there
Could be.
for whatever reason.
Hmm.
Wouldn't surprise me. Okay, so open. Who do we
Open.
got?
All right, so we got Christian Seiler, Chris Tilley, Casey Eusebio, and Bill Drummond.
Okay.
So no JJ there either.
Yeah, I think JJ was originally on the team.
He made the open team, yeah.
Yeah. Man, I thought I saw something that he was. I'm surprised that he's not going. I mean, being that he's from the
He's
Philippines.
just not an open.
Okay. Well,
So
All
there
right.
we go.
So we got Production Optics Heavy, which is the main Production Optics division. We have Luigi Lee, Kwanzaa Kim, David Murphy, and JJ Rakaza. So JJ qualified for the open team, made the open team, and has switched into Production Optics.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, we're just all speculation here. Why? And Jeff, since JJ is Jeff's favorite shooter, Jeff, why do you think JJ would switch to Production Optics Heavy?
I don't know. I don't want to speculate.
Really?
That's so boring, Jeff.
Did he bump someone else off of that team, or was there a slot available that he could just slide into? Going over there?
I mean, like,
Max was originally on it. Max left over to go to Light, so I guess
Okay.
technically there was a slot open.
Okay.
But normally in the past, that always goes down to the next person in line.
Right. That's what I was wondering. Is was there someone, or was there just
the way they
one,
did
no
it,
one lined up?
they took all basically the CO and the Production Optics divisions, and they combined your results. If you were shooting light or heavy at the IPSC Nationals, that was basically one qualifier. So you could shoot either division and get a qualifier for that. And then they took all the Production Optics shooters that wanted to slot, and they just went straight down order. Like, do you want heavy? Do you want light? All the way down. And Max had originally said heavy, so those four minus JJ, and Max was on that team. And then I believe Ashley turned down a light slot. And then that went to, then that'd be like 6, 7, 8, and 9 in the order were on the light team. And then a couple of those people like dropped out through the course of the years at this point that the match didn't happen. So, and then now we have the teams that we have. And so it actually turned into a pretty big mess. With people dropping out and not knowing who wanted to go and what divisions.
Oh, yeah.
It was all set up to be automated when they originally picked the teams and did all the qualifiers, but that was back in 2020, right?
What?
No, 2019 was the last.
2019 was the last year of qualifiers. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was, wow, that's a long time ago. This has been a 5-year journey.
Yeah. Crazy long journey. I'm just going to say it that JJ didn't think he could beat Jorge and Christian Seiler in open, and he wanted a world title, so he's going to Production Optics to go win a world title.
That's like if I was going to speculate, okay?
Just do it.
I would say that he was going to shoot a CO division because his open guns don't run very good.
Well, that could be. I mean, that could be another factor there, for sure. That could be another factor, but yeah, I think he wants that. I think he wants that world title, and even with an asterisk, I think this is the easiest way for him to accomplish that.
You think
And
so?
it's also weird that Max would have switched to a different division and JJ go to that. That seems kind of funky. I mean, there like I don't think JJ didn't really have an option in a Beretta to go to production
no,
optics
so
light.
that is weird.
No, not at all.
Because is Max, is his like signature gun? Does it fit into the light?
It's too heavy.
Right.
His signature gun has the tungsten grip, so he just throwing
Yeah.
a different grip module on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's technically not shooting his signature gun. That's
Correct.
interesting. Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
I'm all
All
about
right.
the speculation, and I'm fine
Yeah.
with that. I think
I had another
it's great.
interesting thought.
Let's hear it.
Well, now I can't remember it. Never mind.
Jeff has been out Halloween hunting with his daughter, and I'm
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure he's on a sugar high because he was probably ate like half the candy out of Thea's Halloween bucket, and he's just
Yeah.
gone.
Well, yeah. I've been home about 5 minutes before we started this podcast, so there wasn't a whole lot of preparation. I left the house at 6:45 this morning, and I got home 5 minutes before we started this. So.
Sounds like an excuse, is what that sounds like. After all the crap you gave JJ for making excuses last week, it sounds like we're getting excuses from you this week.
Hey, I'm still here laying down a performance.
Are you a
Yes.
professional podcaster or what?
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know if his signature line has
I don't-
pro podcaster on it.
I don't think that tier of podcaster exists in this industry yet.
That's probably true. Not in this industry. I think that's true.
Professional podcaster?
In US, not just guns. If you
Yeah,
go
yeah,
as
that's
small as
no,
USPSA.
not in USPSA or anything.
Yeah.
What about
Jeff's
just,
I mean, the
working on
most professional one is probably Brian, and he doesn't do it for any money.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
The most
Right.
consistent and probably the most variety of people is probably Brian's.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
But yeah, making a like professional making a living off podcasting. I mean,
Jeff's
lots of
working
people are
on
doing
it.
it.
If he can get there,
Yeah.
he's gonna get there.
Yeah, just a few more Patreons and we'll be there, right?
Speaking of, don't you have to read that Patreon from today?
Yeah, but first, let's get into our show sponsor for today, which is Shooters Connection,
Perfect timing.
right? Shooters Connection is sponsoring today's show. Thank you, Shooters Connection. Shooters Connection is the one-stop shop for all your competitive needs. I was just checking out their stuff, trying to find if they had like IPSC-specific stuff for World Shoot and everything. So you go on there and get your is it the classics? Yeah, the classic targets. Those are for the like IPSC specific, right?
Mm-hmm.
But dude, the other thing that I was noticing on here is like the variety of holsters and hangers that they have. Like if you just click on holsters, belts, mag pouches, and then just holsters, there's like 4 whole pages of just like hangers and holsters. So if you're in the market for a holster or a hanger, ridiculous options available over Shooters Connection.
It is crazy. Like when the Boss holster came out, the hanger, like
Yeah.
I mean, like it was the option. Like there were kind of some other stuff out there, but really, like it was like the option if you weren't just going to run like a factory Blade Tech or Comtac or something like that. And now you've got tons of different. I mean, there's just so much more options out there, especially the T1000, which is still the coolest name for a holster hanger.
Yeah, and I
Heyman
just
group.
mounted mine up the other day. Haven't got to like run it very much yet, but yeah, they do have the T1000 over there, Shooters Connection. So go check them out. They're doing same day shipping, and support them. Support the podcast. Use the link in the description. Would be much appreciated. Thank you. And now for our podcast shout out. Shout out from Billy McScrublord. Billy McScrublord has a shout out to CRO Marcel for winning Open Division at the local two-gun match. Also, Jeff is a bitch, but not the Jeff Cawthon, some other Jeff. Thank you, Billy.
How much does that cost to do that?
Go
$10.
check it out, Matt.
$10 a month?
No, I
Yeah.
think it's $10 a one-time. Isn't it a $10 one-time fee, and then Jeff will give you shout-outs for the rest of eternity?
Every episode?
No, it's $10 a month.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
4 episodes, that's $250 each.
Yeah, for a 5-second
Hopkins is
shout
thinking
out.
about it. For
You'll say whatever.
$250 each.
You'll say whatever.
I have a disclaimer in there that I can choose not to say it with no refund.
That's not fair.
Depending on what you want me to say. If it's inappropriate, we're pretty inappropriate anyway, but if it crosses the line, I'm not saying it.
Yeah,
Like-
and whatever Jeff's line is.
Well, yeah, what's that line? Give me an example of something
It's
you
probably
won't say.
different than Ben's line. I'm gonna guess it's a little different than Ben's line, but it's
I don't
also maybe not. Jeff's gonna be pretty generous with that.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like if you've listened long enough, you know the line. I mean, that's fair. Or worst case scenario here, you put something up there, I read it, I say, no, I'm not saying that. Next week, you change it, say something else. So you miss 1 week of shout out.
Can I put a backup line in there? Like if you won't say
you
that
do.
one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's fair.
definitely.
Anyway, if anybody's interested in this, you can use the link to join the Discord. It'll be in the description. There'll be 2 options. One of them is just the Discord. And then one of them is you get the Discord plus the secret Discord channel where you put in your shout out. And I read it and you can go change it and all that. That's how it works.
I think we just got more people interested in becoming Patreons of the Discord. That's what I think just happened. Because Hopkins just sitting there like, for $2.50, like I would happily get my opinion out there. Yeah.
Yeah. There's also
how many listeners you got?
We get about 1,000 an episode, I think.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
We got pretty good metrics. It's pretty good. Jeremy, aren't you selling some hats or something as well?
We do have hats. It's not this one. This is the OG hat. But we do have the Stealth Hit Factor hat. Again, if you want it, send money to PayPal. $35. That includes shipping. If once matches get going again in the spring, if I'm gonna be at a match that you'll be at, I'll bring it to you, and it's $30. If I'm just bringing it to a match or something.
I am hearing that your customer service is garbage, though.
Where did you hear that from? It may be true.
Comments all over the internet.
I don't think there's comments all over the internet, but yeah, there has probably been a little bit of confusion. I will say that like I do not like Shooters Connection, like they ship same day, and like they're on that. I do not ship same day. So I will if you buy a hat and you send money to my PayPal, I will
get it eventually.
I will get it shipped out to you fairly quickly, but it probably will not be that same day. I got to go like find a box that the hat will fit in. Like I got to source that like basically every time. And
go just find a box.
Yeah.
It's got to go.
And then
it's got to go craft a box out of.
I mean,
mesquite.
almost. almost. And then I got, yeah, I mean, and it's about an hour. Like it's about an hour outside of work to go ship for me to go ship a box. So if
Oh
that was
man.
money that I was putting into a gun, like it would cost a lot more than $5 for shipping.
So for $35, they're getting like $100 worth of value
Yeah, I mean, like they're getting
at least.
a
At
heck of a
least.
deal to get a hat for that. Like that is a heck of a deal.
Okay, it's fair.
We got some other team members here. So USPSA
Uh huh.
has a open senior team also.
Okay.
JoJo's on that. Jay Hirschberg, Layden, and Mel Rodero are on that team.
Oh, okay. So there, I wonder, do the ADs get extra money for this trip, or do they get the 500 or what?
I don't know.
It's a
There's
good
only one
question.
AD going.
No, Mel is Area 4 area
Not
director.
right now.
Oh, I guess not yet.
Yeah.
He starts what, first
Yeah.
of the year?
Yeah, January 1st.
So him and Leighton can go discuss how they want to continue to run USPSA in the future.
That's true. We got ladies open. We got Jesse Harrison, Sloan Sanders, Megan Smiley, Janet TSUI. I would totally mess that up, so I'm not even going to
Please
try.
say it. Yeah, no, you have to. That is part of being on this podcast. You have to try it.
Soy? I
I'm
don't
going
know.
to say Sui.
I think the T is silent, though.
Yeah, I think it's Sui. Just Sui.
Sui? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies
Is there
standard.
another ladies? Okay.
Yeah. Michelle Viscusi, Becky Yackley, Jessica Johansson, and then Karina Burns Randolph. So we're
So
Okay.
sending two
So there
ladies,
is a
one
Glock
senior.
shooter. There
Not
is one
anymore?
Glock shooter. Oh, does
Oh,
Michelle
she
not shoot
doesn't
for
shoot for
Glock
Glock
anymore?
anymore?
No.
Oh.
She announced, I think, a couple weeks ago that she's no longer on the team.
Oh.
After 10 years. She was on there for 10 years, so.
It has been 10 years since Michelle has
Yep.
been on Team Glock.
Yeah, it's kind of
Holy
crazy.
cow. That is crazy. That's really
Well, that's
crazy.
interesting, I guess.
Does she have
There's a
another
bunch of
sponsor?
individual shooters also, so. What do we send? 1, 2.
From the U.S.?
Yeah.
Okay.
John Fliger, Eddie Garcia, Mike Ganera, Spencer Stein, Christopher Layden's son, Dominic Coe, Roy Stedman, Frank Garcia, James Ramos, Kerry Pearson, Joe Draghi, Maggie Reese Voigt, Claudia Vadanez.
Jojo Vidania's daughter, right?
That does sound right, yeah. Bo Wang, John Copy, which is shooting revolver. What are the odds on he actually makes it through the match?
I don't know.
Shooting left-handed shooting revolver.
Oh, jeez, that. Oh, yeah, that should be interesting. Maybe he's looking for a world title. There are some really solid
Revolver
international
senior.
revolver shooters out there. There's because in some
Oh, this
countries
is
revolver is
interesting.
really popular.
So and so William Paolino, we got Kevin Leonhardt, Morgan Leonhardt, Karina Draghi, Nan Wang, John Haywood, Matthew Haywood, Kaylee Lane.
Okay.
So
Wow.
Tim is on the individual list, but he's on the standard list on the team and the squad list. Manny Bragg is on the team in this, but not on the team in the squad list. He's as an individual. So those two have switched.
I mean, I
And
wonder
I
if
also
Manny.
see that Yeeman is going to be there as the president of
I mean,
USPSA.
yeah, he's the RD, right? He's the regional director, so
We have Angus Hobdell that's there also as a U.S. competitor.
he's not gonna miss a match in Thailand of this. You know that he's gonna make that match.
He's been there for a while. He shot the match in the summer and actually posted a 30 some minute video that showed the range and like all the props they had. So we've kind of had an inside look at what they're planning on doing for a little while
That's helpful.
with the Thai national match.
Yeah. So what are you doing for ammo?
Taking it with me.
Are you?
Yeah.
So 500 round match. You need about 600.
For the match, yeah.
You can't fit that into an 11
I
pound
would hate.
box.
What do you mean?
I mean, you might could go like 95 grain bullets and make
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay. So the IPSC Thailand, they have been producing ammo, and this has been the longest ammo production process that I have ever seen. Because like I'm still kind of clued in on the Facebook World
Yeah.
Shoot pages and stuff, and so like they've been testing this ammo, and like they've been, I will say they at least been showing their like results. Like, hey, it seems like they have done due diligence on uh testing the ammo and like a bunch of different guns and like trying to get it as good as they can with different projectiles, different powders and stuff. And the problem is the ammo is rather expensive. Was it $1 a round? Is it that high?
I think the 9 miner stuff was a little less than that. Maybe it was $1 a round.
So somewhere around that. So it was a deal that like
The
you'd have
major
a
stuff is like $2 a round though.
yeah yeah.
And
So like
45, the revolver load is like $2 a round.
jeez. Um.
Holy cow!
Roy
So
Steadman
and
is going. I don't think I mentioned him.
yeah, you when you were reading the list off, you did.
June Kim is going.
So yeah, like you kind of like you're either going to um, stuff some extra light loads to make it under the 11 pounds into your ammo, or you're going to have to purchase at least half of your ammo there, and you're going to have to shoot a match with ammo that you've not shot through your gun, and your match is going to cost you basically an extra $400 to $500, if not more, just to shoot the match and use the ammo.
Yep.
Matt, or either one
Yeah.
of you, when you're flying like to a different country, do they like try to dig all the ammo out of your bag, or is it just like flying anywhere in the country?
It's usually like it is here. You check in
All right, so
here, so and then once your like stuff's on the plane, no one's gonna dig that bag out in your layover airport and drag your ammo out of it
Right.
and weigh it.
So you put your 2 boxes on top, and then you bury the rest.
It's
yeah.
all there. Like it's not.
And the ammo weight deal that's an airline
It's an airline thing. Yeah,
policy. That's not like you're not like the weight of
not
the
breaking
ammo
any
is
laws
not
doing it.
breaking the
No.
law,
Yeah.
right? Like that's just an
Right.
airline policy as far as
Yeah.
what you're doing with that.
So
Which
I'm
I don't
looking
like.
here
Why do they
and
care? Why do they care?
That's a great question.
Like if
who
your bag
knows?
meets the correct weight, why the whole
So
thing could be
it's
full of lead.
purely an airline thing because Alaska Airlines has a totally different weight limit.
It's like 45 pounds for
Yeah,
Alaska.
it,
That's why
it's a it's
Poggi always flies Alaskan Airlines because they fly out of Seattle,
yeah.
and so he can get on with whatever he wants.
I
So
would be
question
interested.
is the abbreviation for Russia RSA?
That
I
was
always thought it was
US.
RUS.
What's RSA?
I don't know.
I don't
They
know.
have 84 competitors. That's quite a bit.
Because
Republic of
I
South
know
Africa,
that could be it. South Africa has a
they
big
have a
shooting
huge number
contingent.
of people, right?
Yeah. I'm looking it up. Well, it's an algorithm. Rivas Shamir Alderman. Let's try.
Yeah, it
Let's
looks
see.
like it's South Africa.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
so
right, I
there's
see it.
no Russian. I looked up the country code. There's none registered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Alana,
let's see.
South Africa.
Is there? Those are the only two. There's a standard and an open women's team.
Correct.
Okay.
It looks like there's a PO Light women's team also, but I've heard there's some schedule conflicts with that, so there might not actually be. And they only have 3 people on it, so if one of them drops, there's no way they'll be able to make a team.
Yeah.
Oh, I remembered what I was going to ask earlier, and it was: is CO like has it blown up in like the rest of the world as much as it has here?
Not that I don't think so. No. That's why I was trying to find the breakdown of what divisions were going to be recognized and how many all the teams were going to be recognized. I don't see it now though.
Yeah, because that would be interesting if if JJ was going over to shoot CO because he thought that might be an easier win. Like if that division was stacked in the rest of the world as much as it is here, I wouldn't think that would be the play to go get an easier win. But I don't know.
I don't know.
Speculation, of course.
I'm trying to see what.
I mean, typically the rest of the world, unless you know their name, like the Americans are the Heat for that division. Like that's. I mean, that sounds super arrogant.
Yeah,
But that's
what
like
the
the
hell?
best shooters. The best shooters in the world are basically coming from the U.S. Is Eduardo
Probably
de Carbos shooting this match? Oh, Matt's not listening.
I'm
But
searching.
oh, that's okay. Because I didn't he shoot? I thought he shot standard against Gaston at Pan American. That's kind of what I thought. Because I was a little bit surprised that Gaston beat him shooting minor. I could be wrong though.
I'm not sure. I know Gaston's been playing with the production gun lately, also though. Bro, Texon, and Cahill are shooting standard from the Philippines team, so
Okay.
those two will probably finish pretty high in standard.
I thought Texon. I thought that kid was moving to the U.S.
He was only here for a couple months.
Oh, okay, okay. He's supposed to be. I mean, I haven't ever really seen his match results, but he's supposed to be really good.
He's
Is
very
what I've
good.
heard. Yeah.
Hmm.
The Filipinos had a really strong classic team at the last World Shoot, and I think they're going to have at least a couple really solid guys shooting classic this year.
I'm
Okay,
trying to see
so
where Gaston's at.
Jeff, are you picking? Who are you picking to win Open? Christian or Jorge or the field?
I don't know anything about Jorge. This is the first I've heard of this name.
He won the last World Shoot for Open.
He's very good.
He beat JJ.
How old is he?
I don't actually know that. I think he's younger than JJ, but he's
Okay.
not. He's not as young as Christian.
Gotcha. World Shoot, Thailand. Jorge, where's he from?
Spain, right? Ballesteros is his last name. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
he's
I
Spanish.
think so.
Man. How much did he
He's
win by?
from Spain.
He's from Spain.
Who did he beat? He beat JJ in the last one? Is that what
Yeah,
you said?
him and JJ were the. I don't know if there's anybody closer than that. They were the two duking it out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was 20, 30 points, I think, in the end. It was close enough that it was basically down to the last stage, and then I think JJ had to try and do some crazy.
Eduardo
stuff
is shooting production. Eduardo de Cobos is shooting production.
Okay. So I mean, if you've got Gaston shooting production, Eduardo shooting production, and then Mason and Sal and Casey, I mean, production's gonna be like it normally is.
Gaston
Uh,
signed up for standard,
oh, he is signed up for
but
standard.
he's been playing with production. I don't know why, but
Interesting.
Maybe he's going to shoot minor.
he will.
He will.
Yeah.
Is that purely a tactical thing on his part, or is just getting minors just so much easier to get in Argentina?
No, I think he chooses it. I think he can shoot it better. From what I've heard him explain it, he thinks it's not that big of a disadvantage
Yeah,
in IPSC.
Yeah,
You
him
actually have
and
a better percentage round count compared to major. You can usually get about 3 or 4 rounds more. So with the lower round count in major, like 17,
right.
18, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, if you're getting 20 or
mm,
21
Yep.
with 9 millimeter, yeah, especially on some of those medium courses,
Yeah.
you get possibly get by without any sort of mag change. And at
interesting.
17, you're in a big field course, you're much more likely to do 2 mag changes versus one if you've got 20 or 21 in the
And
mag.
he says he can shoot the guns faster also.
I believe that. I agree with that statement. Like I don't. It's not a. I don't. Some people say that like you can shoot major or minor, like you just shoot the exact same splits, and you'll shoot the exact same number of points down, as far as like this exact same number of Charlies, like on paper. And I think I can shoot personally. I can shoot a 9 millimeter faster and get more alphas. Now, is it half the number of Charlies? Probably not half the number of Charlies, but I can get more alphas faster with a minor gun.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Interesting.
I don't totally disagree with him there. Now you start adding a bunch of movers and stuff like that, which I mean I know France was extremely mover heavy.
Oh, there's a
30.
lot. I counted up that pre-match Angus shot. I think there was 13 swingers in 30 stages.
Well, there was more than that at World Shoot in France. In France, we had like over 30 stages. We had at least like there were over 30 movers. In France, there were a ton of movers. So if you start throwing in
Mm.
movers, and that's to me where major starts becoming much more having a bigger advantage over minor. If they're tough at all, if they're hard movers.
They will be.
Yeah, I would assume that they will be. The World Shoot is a hard match. It should be one of the hardest matches you ever shoot, and that's usually how it goes. So other than the match, I mean, you're cramming everything into a few days off from work. Like, what are you most looking forward to in Thailand?
I've never been there, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea. I'm going in there with pure. So I actually shoot day 1 through 5 all in a row. We shoot all
Oh,
in a
really?
row. Yeah, so we
Okay.
start PM, AM, PM, AM, PM. And then
Cool.
the 6th day we have off.
Yeah.
So we'll have off, and then we have award or shoot off, and then awards, and then I fly out. So I'll get a whole day. I think that Friday before the awards and everything that I'll be able to go explore or do anything like that. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. I've never been there. I can honestly tell you I've been so busy that I haven't even been able to like go look and see what to do.
So are you staying in a resort?
I'm in a hotel,
Oh,
not a
really?
resort.
Okay. I mean, like it's one of the largest resort towns in the world, is my understanding.
Mm.
It's also the largest, has the largest red light district. Is that what they call it
Oh
in
yeah.
the world there? So there's lots of that going
Nice.
on. But like if you Google like Pattaya, Thailand, it comes up just I mean just absolutely beautiful beaches and resorts there, really cool. So I mean I was looking forward to that part of it, um, but you threw in all the extra stuff, and I was like, yeah, not worth it.
Yeah.
Um, but should be fun. I know France, like just getting to kind of the cool thing about France is it wasn't in a typical tourist spot, which I actually liked because you kind of got to experience France on kind of just like what is France like, not what is Paris like,
Yep.
and that was pretty cool. So, well, cool.
It'll be challenging, and they're 11 hours ahead of us.
Yeah,
So right now it is tomorrow. It's November 1st, and it's
dang.
October 31st right now. So 11 hours ahead. So the time difference will be interesting. That's always a change. Whatever host country has an advantage no matter what,
Yeah,
or host continent or region, I guess.
yeah, for sure. For sure, because I did not sleep on the plane on the way to France. Like I tried and I couldn't, and so then by the time I was walking stages, I'd been up for like 30 plus hours, and I was trying to like walk stages and do equipment check and
I actually
all
don't
that
think I'm going to
stuff.
get to walk the stages.
I mean, there's not. I think that's okay in
Well,
IPSC,
it'll only be a disadvantage on the first 6.
right?
And I can get there. So we shoot PM that first day. I can get there in the morning and look at them. So I think
Yeah,
that's okay. And then every other day I'll look at them before or after I shoot. So I'm not super worried about that.
and the other good thing is that you're on a team, so
Yep.
like if you don't have a plan going in, like your team is gonna share that plan. I don't know how much Max will talk with you guys. Like I just don't know.
I think it'll be good. I've been texting him. I think it'll be good. So
Okay.
we got so lucky. So it's the PO Light team. Then
Hmm.
we have the 3 ladies that are also shooting PO Light. And then we have Morgan and Kevin Leonhardt. So we actually have
Oh.
9 U.S. competitors on the
Oh wow.
squad of 15, I think.
Okay.
No,
That's
it
awesome.
might be 16 on that. So we have a huge advantage at that. So we'll be able to share and talk to people, and
Yeah.
we'll be able to help police the other squad members from
Yeah.
doing anything crazy.
Yeah. So that's like so you don't have to like if you don't have your own specific plan, you will at least have a plan to
Yeah.
use and somebody can
And
give
we'll
it
be
to you.
able to figure mover timing out a lot easier that way.
Yeah. I know that our first day at the World Shoot, obviously, like so in IPSC, you cannot pre-walk stages. You can look at them from the back of the bay, but you can't get on them. And then you get 3 minutes for a short course, 4 for a medium course, and 5 for a long course. Is that correct?
I think
Am
it
I-
depends. I think they might have all went to all 4 minutes per
Oh, okay,
stage. I'm not sure. It
okay.
just depends.
Um, so first day for us, this is in France at the World Shoot. It ended up like I was shooting like second or something like that. Like second stage of the match, I was shooting second, and it was a stage that had the Cooper Tunnel, if you remember that one. And it was a little bit of a memory stage. And IPSC is normally like the nice thing about IPSC is normally the shooting challenges are pretty well in front of you. Like there's not a lot of like figure out just how do I figure out where all the targets are. And this one was a little bit of that, and being a Cooper tunnel, like you could really kind of only get one or two person on the stage at a time, so you got like one maybe two looks at it, and that was it. And I was like second up, and I go to Randy Arrowwood like, dude, I don't even know where all the targets are. Do you have a plan? And he was like, yes. And so he told me what his plan was, and I don't think I ever even walked the plan, and just went and shot the stage. Um,
You
so
definitely have to visualize quite a bit in IPSC,
yes,
because
Mhm.
there'll be some stages where you have 16 people on the squad and they put you in a boat or a wobbly bridge or something. 6 people get to go do the walkthrough on it, and they're like, "Who's up?"
yep,
They don't even care.
nope. No, they don't care about that. Like if you get a look or not, and you will get like the thing that you have to do in IPSC is sometimes you got to be a jerk because there'll be somebody that'll get on that stage, like say that you have like a boat or a wobbly bridge, and they'll stand up there like they're trying to figure everything out, and it's like, dude, get out of the way. Like you got your 10 seconds. Everybody else needs their 10 seconds too, and you almost have to push them out of the way, or they'll just sit there and take up all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts that way.
Yeah,
That sounds
it's
stressful.
yeah.
It's
It's I
definitely
mean
different than USPSA, where you can go look at the stages, get your plan, memorize it, go back and make sure everything's there. It's much faster paced on that. And then usually about 1 or 2 days in, all the plans are figured out and shared with everybody. So
Yeah.
it's not too much of a surprise.
Yeah. It's kind of cool because it's a different skill that gets tested. Like you don't get all of this. Well, it's just you don't get all of this. Like you don't get just a million reps as much as you want on the day before, and then also you don't at make ready you don't get your sight picture either. So you got like somebody like a Max Michelle that goes up and like they will dry fire that stage. If it's a short stage, he'll dry fire the stage 3 or 4 times before he ever shoots it. Right? IPSC, you don't get to do that. It is just like you walk up, you see a stage. Okay, I know where the targets are, and then you go shoot it. And there's no dry fire. There's no nothing.
Yeah, it's stand and deliver. You don't have to. I've been doing that locally ever since CO Nationals. I've been doing that like no sight pictures as much as possible. I went out and tested my ping pong ball to make sure it worked that I have in my bag in case it rains for the optics. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, I'm taking a ping pong ball with me, which is nice. So you have to. I'm trying to think about any of this stuff because I'm gonna have such limited time on the ground there before the match. Like I can't go buy an umbrella, buy a chair, or go to the range and then realize I need something else. Like I gotta try to basically plan it all out beforehand.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I would assume down there it's gonna rain.
100%, you have to plan for that.
Yeah.
I am gonna buy an umbrella in country though. I'm not gonna travel with one.
I just hope your Google Translator works. I don't know.
Dude, I'm just gonna flash US money around and just and point at photos and
Right.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, it should work. No problem.
I'm just gonna
Should
plan it
work,
on the
no
ground when
problem.
I get there. It's good.
Yeah, I think that's
Uh-huh.
smart. That's a good
I
plan
like
for
it.
success.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, we wish you the best of success over there. I hope you make it there, and I hope you get to come back into the country. I hope you
I'm
don't
gonna get
become
back to the US somehow. I might be stuck in
somebody.
an airport, but I'm gonna be on US soil.
I hope so. I hope you don't become somebody's Nancy boy or whatever they call those things over there.
Oh my god.
Uh, so I hope you get back, and we will definitely need to do an after report of the match.
For
Uh,
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
so thanks for coming on and giving us the rundown on who's on squad list and all that sort of stuff. Because yeah, we were going blind.
They didn't make it easy to find, so I figured I'd try to help out a little bit.
Yeah, that is very helpful. So
Yeah. And if
appreciate
people
that.
have more questions on that or for you, do you have a way you want people to get a hold of you
Yeah,
or
just
not?
post them on Discord. I'll see them on there.
Okay.
Perfect. What is your name on Discord so they can at you?
I'm not saying that.
He's probably like one of the usuals.
Yeah, he's somebody. Yeah, somebody's name that we don't know, and yeah, that's probably true. He's signing up for Patreon. He's gonna be our next Patreon. I can already tell.
Dude, that's so cheap. $250 for 1,000 people? Come on, that's so cheap.
Don't tell
It is
Jeff
cheap.
that.
Hey,
Don't tell. It's now just went up to $20.
hey, there's only 10 slots available for that shout out. So if it
Hey, so if I buy all 10 slots, can I then resell them to someone else? Ooh, no, yeah. Yeah, there's only 10 slots. We're good.
You got Jeff
I
thinking
mean,
now.
I guess you could.
Can I buy all 10 slots and then get 10 shout outs?
Well, 9. We've got one guy that's already, so you'd get 9
Okay.
Yeah.
that you could buy up. I mean, Jeff's like. I mean, at that point, Jeff, like you're getting your money. Whatever you ask, you're getting your money.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I guess I don't really care. I mean, they're short shout outs, it's like one sentence. That's a shout out.
That's
It's not
fine.
a 30-second ad.
But if I have
But if you
9 of
bought
them, I'd have 9 sentences. That's 2
exactly.
paragraphs.
Yeah, then you
Yeah.
would have a full ad slot. Boom. Hey, you game the
There we
system,
go.
Matt. I
We're
encourage it.
gaming it, yeah.
Or you could just pay for an ad slot.
That too.
Sounds like the Patreon would be cheaper.
No, we're cheap. We don't cost much.
yeah, so that being said, if you want to join Discord, the link will be in the description. Also, if you're not in the Discord, you want to send questions to us, you can email us. Or if you want to work with us, be a partner on the podcast, you can email us at thehitfactorpodcast@gmail.com. So there's that for you. Email PayPal Jeremy, and his customer service will get back with you on hats. And that's all I got. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right,
for
thanks for
listening.
having me on.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Jared, take us out.
Stop recording, damn it.